Okay, so good morning everyone. Let's go ahead and start. If you have any questions in the previous session, you can ask me. Else we'll continue. Let me open the notes, whatever we are typing. Also, let me open Eclipse. So yesterday we have seen all the examples on that. Then yesterday we were talking about the XML styling, right? We'll see one example for that. XML styling. That means how do you do the stylings using XML? So yesterday we have seen high level. So we can see one example today. Get the Eclipse loaded, then we can see. Okay, so if you look at here, XML styling. Yesterday we talked about this one. Let me show you in the series. Okay, calm down, calm down. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. So using CSS styles in XML views. So I said, okay, this is how you can use all these things, right? Let's go ahead and see one example. Let's go ahead and see one example. You can also see external and internal. So if you look at here, so from the HTML, we are instantiating the view. I'm going to the view. I'm going to the view. If you look at in the view, there are two ways. One is, there are two ways. I can apply the styles inline, and I can do the external styling. So if you look at here, I have a CSS file. If I am getting the style from the CSS file, then it is called external CSS file, or using the external CSS file. If I am writing the CSS inside the XML, then it is called internal CSS or local style sheet. Okay, we'll see both now. Okay, let me run this program, you will get some idea. Let me run this program. You'll get the idea. Let me put it in the browser. So if you look at here, the results, whatever you see, yeah. So there is a styling here. There is a styling here. There is some styling here. There is some styling here. Look at here. What is this? There is some styling here. All these things are there. So these are all, let's see where all those coming from. Okay. So in the integrated HTML, we don't have anything. We are just simply instantiating the view. Now I am going to the view. In the view, this is XML view. So these are all common. Now coming to here, I am having a page. Inside the page, there is a content. Inside the content, there is a label. I am working with views, XML views. I am working with XML views using external CSS. What does it mean? If you look at here, for label, I am using the class called header. That header is available in the CSS. That header is available in the CSS. Now here, what is the CSS available? Okay, display block, block level element. I think you know what is the meaning of block level element and inline element, right? What is the difference between block level element and inline element? What is the difference between black level element and inline element? Anyone? We spend enough amount of time there. Black level element and inline element. What is the difference between block level element and inline element? Anyone? Srikant, Keshav. Block level element and inline element. Inline is only for the tag. What does that mean? Because I know the importance of this one, that's what I was keep on stressing that time. Maybe your understanding is a little bit okay, but not that great. Inline is
inline element means it applies to only for that element which you have applied.
One second. Inline is for entire page. Entire page. Oh my God. Finally, you are making others to confuse. Okay. So block level element means it is going to take the entire space of that particular block. Whether you are using the left side, whether you are using the right side, it's not a matter. It is going to take entire. So that's why if you see here, this particular label, sorry, in the XML. So this particular label, whatever we are trying to display, I said inline. I said block. So block means whether it is going to take the memory or it is going to take entire space or not, it's not a matter. So the rest of memory cannot be used or rest of the space cannot be used. So that's why left side and right side there is empty. Fine. Now I am saying, okay, width is equal to that, this and all, padding 150, that's why you see some gap. Okay, margins 15, okay, background color something, shadows something, all these things. And radius 10 pixels, that's why you see corners, rounded corners, text align center, so it's displayed center, decoration none, something and all. So that's how it is, nothing more than that. After the label, what are we having? If you look at here, after the label, I am having one more text box. One more text box. And what is the class I applied? Okay, P quota or P code. So if you look at here, this is the P code. So now I am saying float left. Float left, obviously, when I say float left, obviously it is going to display the next line. Not next line, it is going to come in the left side. Okay. So then width is equal to something and all. Those are all what it is applied for this. Fine. Now come back here. So I have one more text box, something like this. And if you look at here, so I did not apply any class for this. So that's why it is coming normal. That's why it is coming normal. I did not apply any styles. That's why it is coming normal. So if you look at here, for this I applied the styles. For this I applied the styles. But for this I did not apply any style. That's why it is a normal one. Fine. Now I have a link. Look at here. This is called link. Now text. So text is what? Something. And if you see the class is a link. So it is available in the CSS. Class is called link. So this is the link. Now I am saying display is equal to block level element. So that's why whether after this button or whatever it may be, even though we have space, we are not able to use because it is a block level element. That the entire space is going to be taken. The entire space is going to be taken. So that's why it is like this. And you can specify the properties whatever you want like this. And if you look at here, when I hover on the link, see, look at here, there is an animation. That is also specified here, on hover. Link.onHover. Link.onHover. If it is a WebKit, what is the meaning of WebKit? What is the meaning of WebKit? So WebKit is a what is that? What is the meaning of WebKit? We are already discussed about that one.
Browser specific setting.
Yeah. So if at all you are viewing the results from the Chrome, then rotate that one into some degrees. So rotate that one into some degrees, and finally transform that. So transform is also same. So therefore We are applying the animations on hover. Okay, that's fine. So therefore, if you look at here, from here to here, we applied external CSS. What is the meaning of external CSS? CSS is available in different files. You can also have CSS there itself. So if you want to have a CSS there, I said already HTML style. If it is HTML, then you are going to use simply style. But right now you are using the style inside the XML. So that's why you are going to use HTML : style. Then write the style whatever you want. Then use the style. Now label. If you look at here, label class is equal to what? My text. So that means this style will be applied. So what is the style it is? Color is equal to white, padding is equal to 4, then background color teal, like that. So this is what the output is. Text color is equal to white, background color teal, and so on, so on. So that means it is an internal style. If you look at here, for this label, we are applying the internal style. Okay, so that's how you can apply the styles. It's the same, there is no difference. But the only thing is that if at all you want to apply the internal styles, you are going to have HTML : style. If it is the external style, it is same. There is no difference at all. Okay, that's about that one styles. Now let's come back. We discussed all these things, fragment, that, this and that. Yesterday we talked about the navigations also. Okay. Next is, okay, so working with the controls in UI5 or SAP UI5. So whenever we say UI5 or SAP UI5, it is same. Okay. Now, so we already work with the controls. We have many controls, right? Like what is that? So we already defined what is the meaning of control also. Control is the element which is used for the appearance or behavior. So like you have a button, you have a text box, you have a label. All these are called controls. All these are called controls. And every control will have what? We already seen how to write the custom controls. So if you want to write the custom controls, if you want to create the custom controls, what are the rules we need to remember? We need to follow certain rules. What are the rules? Anyone able to remember something at least? What are the rules? Don't go and Google it. So if you are Googling, then that means you are cheating yourself. If you are cheating yourself, then no one can stop you. Okay, so if you want to write the custom control, we followed some rules. What are the rules? First thing is that you need to define if any custom data type is there. Once you define the custom data type, then you are going to specify the meta properties. So that includes what? Associations, aggregations, properties, define the control, okay, define any methods, default methods, overriding methods, setter methods, getter methods, and finally you are going to use the control. That's it. If anyone asks like that, you have to tell like that. Custom controls, we already talked about. Okay, so if you look at here, custom control. Yeah, look at here. So create a custom data type if any. Then define the or create the control. Then properties, aggregations, associations, events, methods. Okay, additional methods, overriding the methods, manage the controls, render the control. Finally, you are going to use the control. So those are the steps. And we already seen all those things. So that's why I'm not going to spend much time on those. Just we'll try to recollect if something is missed out or if anything needs to be understood physically. So that's about the controls. So therefore, control consists of name. You take any control, it will have name. Let's say example of button. Then it will have metadata. What is the meaning of metadata? We already seen. What is the meaning of metadata? Like aggregations, associations, all these things are metadata. Aggregations, associations, all these things are metadata. and properties and all. Then button can have some elements and methods. We have seen already all these things. Okay. So then developing UI5 controls using JavaScript. We already seen this one. Okay. Define the control, implement the methods, blah 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 and all. So instead of this, you can use the steps whatever we said. That is the simplest one. Okay. But this is, if you want to remember this, this is also fine. It's more or less similar. There is no much difference. Now next thing is that custom data. Look at this one. Custom data attaching or custom data attaching data object to controls. What does it mean? Let's say if you look at here, I have a button. For button, you can attach the data. If you look at here, let me take this one. Let me go to the index.html. Let me create a button. Okay, so sap.ui or sap.m.button. Let me open the help. Something yesterday I was talking to SAP. Yesterday they were talking about google.com. What happened? Struck? What happened? Okay, so UI5 HANA SDK. UI5 HANA SDK. Yeah, this one. So let me close this. I think it is stuck. Close the program. So let me let that get loaded. Meanwhile, if you look at here, there are smart controls. What are those? Let's see. Let's go back. Controls. Simple controls, value controls. These are the placeholders. Okay, that's fine. So let me reopen that. Okay, so what we are trying to say here is that, so for button, for whatever you want, you can assign the data. So if you look at here, button.data, it is a method basically. We did not use that method, but you can use that data method to assign some data. So if you look at here, there is a syntax straight away. So button.data, you can give the data whatever you want, blah blah blah, and you can alert it, you can display it or whatever you want. Okay. So now defining predefined CSS margins in the classes. Let's understand this one. What is this meaning? So if you take a CSS or if you take a UI5 screens like CSS, it is going to have the margins. For example, let me run this program. Just now we ran this program, right? So let me run this program. Okay, so if we take this program, yeah, already results is available, that's fine. Look at here. So I'm getting the result. If you look at here, this is the element, this is the element, all these things. Every element will have the margin. Also, these are all will have the margin. If you look at here, margin is there, all these things. So that is what we are talking about. So if you look at here, UI5 gives an options of adding the space between the controls. That means if you look at here, this is a control. This is a control. If you look at here, this is a label. This is another label, and there is a space. So therefore, UI5 provides spacing between the controls. UI5 provides spacing between the controls. Even if you look at here, I did not specify any spacing. I did not specify any spacing, but still spacing is there. So therefore, UI5 provides a certain default spacing between the controls. UI5 provides default spacing between the controls. Okay, and if you look at here, if you have, and this is another thing. Okay, or see, these are the standard sizes it offers. What are the standard sizes? Teeny. What is the meaning of teeny? 0.5 rem or 8 pixels. If it is a small, then this many. If it is a medium, then this many. If it is a larger, then this many. These are the different sizes it can allow. These are the different flavors of sizes it allows. But generally we are not going to use this, but just remember on the high level. Okay, so if you look at here, so if you want to add your own margins, take the panel. So we used already the panel in the XML. Let me open one XML. So I think in the dialog box we have used the panel, right? No. Sometime back we used the panel. So let's say for panel you would like to apply some margins, margin classes. What do? Panel width is equal to something, that's fine. Class is equal to SAP UI large margin begin. 1 second. Okay, so these are the different classes available. You can make use of them. So you no need to write something. If you look at here, this is the class applied. SAP UI large margin begin. So that means it is going to give large margin. And SAP UI large margin bottom. So that means in the beginning you will be having large margin, and the bottom also you will have large margin. So that's what the meaning is. So therefore, different flavors of styles classes. So if you look at here, we are writing the style classes, right? Already different flavors of style classes are available. You can make use of them. So let's see by applying something and see whether those are applied or not by default, or what is applied by default. Let's take this syntax and all. Panel, okay, width is equal to auto. Try to understand. Okay, class is equal to, or let me not to apply any class, then we'll see. Okay, so this is the panel and the end panel. Let me go here, go to the index.html, go to the XML file. What happens if I have multiple contents? Let's try out. Page is ended. Now panel. So inside the panel there is a content. What happens if I have multiple content? I don't think so it is going to allow. Let's see. I am trying to have multiple content. Ended panel, and let's create one label here. Let's create one label here. It's not going. Okay, so let me remove the class whatever applied. I don't want these classes. Okay, go to the end and end the tag properly. So this is what it is. Now let me go ahead and refresh. Let's see what happens. I did not get any results, right? So therefore it looks, let me rerun the program. Let me rerun the program. No, we are not getting that. So therefore using multiple content is not possible, only one content is possible. Okay, only one content is possible, that's fine. Now, so now what I can do is that go to the here and let's put the panel. Let's put the panel inside here. After the label, after the content, go to ND, put a panel and remove this content, all these things. Okay, now let me go ahead and run the program again. Take these results and hit it in the browser. So you got the results. Look at here. You got the results. Now it is a panel. Now let me. So as we said, auto. So it is going to take entire space. Now let me go to the inspect element. Let's look at see this one. What is applied this for this? For this I want. So div. So let's see what kind of CSS is applied for that. For this I need inspect element. So this is a one. Look at here, please. So this is a class by default it is applied. SAP MP or SAP M panel 1 BG background is applied. Now instead of that, let me apply my own class, whatever we have. So if you look at here, there is a class called class is equal to SAP UI large large margin begin and SAP UI large margin bottom. These are the two things. Let me apply those. You can apply whatever you want. That's fine. But I would like to go with this and see panel. So then auto. After auto, then I would like to apply this style. Now let me go ahead and refresh it. Let me go ahead and refresh it. See, look at here. Do you see the difference? Previously it was starting from the beginning. This particular style, inspect element, we applied some style, right? This particular style is starting from here. This particular style is starting from here. So therefore, you have some standard styles already available. If you want to use it, you can use it. If you want to use it, you can use it. So therefore, the conclusion here is that, so you can apply your own styles, or you can also use some standard styles available. Like these are the standard styles. But whenever you are going for the customizations, you will be writing your own styles. You will not depend on the standard styles. So that is the conclusion side. That's the conclusion side. So therefore, so just remember that, okay, yeah, there are some styles like SAP UI, some styles. It's difficult to remember all these things, but just remember that there are some styles available by default with the theme. These styles are coming because of my theme. We are using theme called Blue Crystal, right? Yeah, SAP Blue Crystal. So we are getting those styles because of this theme. So every theme provides a collection of styles. Example, these are the styles. Now if you want to use them, you can use them. Or you can write customizations like however we did. That's about that one. Okay. So now I said, if you look at here, let me go up a little bit. Yeah. Take the controls. Every control will have its own margin. So that's why you see some margin, padding, spacing, all these things. Every control will have its own margin. And if you want to remove it, then it is possible. So if you want to remove it, then you are going to call these things. So remove, if a control comes with a margin and you don't want that particular margin, then you can use these classes. Let's say SAP UI non-margin. Let's say if I am specifying this one for my button, let's take example. No margin. So this is the one, right? So Channa UI5 XML. Go here and apply that class. Okay, class is equal to, instead of P code, let me apply this class. Now let's try to see the difference. See, there is no margin applied. And you also apply, please let's apply the same thing for here. Let's apply the same class for the next one. Let's apply the same class for the next label also. Okay, class is equal to, right now nothing is applied, so therefore class is equal to this one. Okay, I save this. Now come back and refresh it. So now these margins are removed. So you will not notice the difference, but it is removed. Okay. So these margins and all removed. Yeah. Look at here. Span. So SAP UI5 no margin. See, it is applied. SAP M text, SAP no margin. Margins are not available right now. And that's what. Now do you see the difference, please? Do you see the difference? So did you see how much it is highlighted? And immediately the next element is started. Do you see the highlighted area? That way you can recognize. Yeah, this way you can recognize. Look at this one. Now there are no margins for this as well as this one. That's why if you look at the difference, right now look at this one, the left side highlighted area. When I hover, left side is highlighted. If you look at there are no margins. And if you look at this one, there are no margins for this. If you look at the next element, see there are margins. Do you see the difference? Guys, yes or no? Do you see the difference? There are margins for this. Because of the reason is we are not saying anything. And remember that. Okay. So this is the deal. Look at here. There are some margins there. This element is also having the margins. So in the CSS we have box model. What box model says? Box model defines 4 things. What are the 4 things? Content, border, margin, padding. So therefore, right now margins are there for this, and for this particular one, if you hover this one, there are no margins for this. So that's how, if you want, by default UI5 provides the margins, and if you want to remove them, you can remove them. So there is one class called the SAP UI no margins, so it will not give any margins. SAP UI no margins on top. So that means there will be bottom margin. SAP UI no margin bottom. That means there will no bottom margin. Okay. So let me apply this one for the label. Bottom there is no, but for first one everything. Let's look at the difference. I think you can very well visualize all these things because we did all these things and we spent good amount of time on this. Okay, this is the control, and next control is this one, and this is no margin on bottom. So 250 pixels, okay, 100 pixels into 48 span. If you look at here, there you are seeing the measures also. No margin in bottom, UI selectable, SAP M text, inherited, okay. some with the direction and all inheriting. So that's fine. Okay, so therefore this is how you can apply some of the, so the conclusion here is that every control will get some default margins from the UI5, and if you don't want those margins, all these things, then apply these classes. CSS or UI5 no margins, UI5 top margin is required, bottom margin is required, okay, left margin is required, begin is required, end is required, end is not required, begin is not required, all these combinations are going to work out. Okay, so that's all about. Now next thing is that you can also do the CSS, this example we already see. Like if you see here, let me remove that because I don't want this one, because I'll be giving this one for your practice purpose. And so what is the class name? P code. That one let me apply here. Now let me remove the panel. Okay, so that's about this one. Now let me close this, let me close this, let me close this. Now come back here. So if you look at here, SAP UI body, this is a class. Now how to override that and all we already seen. So the same way SAP theme text. So you can apply these colors also. CSS classes for theming parameters. You can apply all these things. Okay, so SAP color or SAP theme text color. So this is nothing but UI color. SAP UI body. The same way we have SAP UI body, the same way we have something called SAP UI text that you can apply. So if you look at here, these are the parameters. There are plenty of the parameters, or there are plenty of the CSS classes, but here I did not paste all those things. You can very well look at the help also. You can very well look at the help also. What happened? Yeah. So, so the thing is that if you look at here, this class is having SAP UI body. The same way, if you want something else, then you can say SAP UI text, something and all. So text color you can apply like this, and if there is any background color, you can apply something background color, SAP UI text background color, something like that. So there are some CSS classes available. You can apply them whenever you want. So if you look at here, inspect element, let me go here, or let me go in the body. This is the div. This is covering everything. So if you look at here, this is nothing but, that's what if you look at here. So if you look at here, so I did not give any ID for this. If I am not giving any ID, look at here, default IDs are generated. Underscore page 0, underscore page int header, underscore page 0 count, like that default IDs are generated. That's what we were talking about yesterday, the IDs. So if you give the IDs, then your ID will be there. If you are not giving the ID, then default IDs will be generated. Okay, now coming back here, look at here, yeah, the body. So you have this kind of style. If you don't want this kind of style and you want some other styles also, then you can apply this. And I specified what are the different style classes are available, but you can also very well look at the help. You can also very well look at the help, because I did not specify all the styles. These are all part of UI, right? UI and working with the UI5 controls, yeah, stylings. If you look at here, yeah, list of supported CSS. So these are all easily supported. So there are bunch of the stuffs available. I did not specify all those things, but I specified only few. So based on your requirement, you will be using it. But generally, these will not be used. So the conclusion is, if they are asking you to write the customization or custom CSS, obviously the method whatever we have, that is followed instead of this much of this one. See, what we are trying to do, we are trying to apply again a standard class CSS. So generally, if company says, okay, let's go ahead and apply some custom CSS, we write the CSS. We will not go and again take these predefined classes. We will not go and take these predefined classes. So there is a SAP theme font. This is a class available. Okay, SAP theme text, and these are all the different classes. Like however we have written the classes, right? CSS classes. The same way we have. So here header is a class, link is a class, like that. The same way standard CSS classes are available. If you want to make use of them, you can go ahead and use them. Otherwise, no need. Okay. So the next thing is that let's come back. These are the list of CSS supported. Now, if you look at here, declarative support. What does it mean? If you want to create your own controls, if you want to define the controls, then what do? If you look at here, if you want to define the control, then you are going to use what? Programmatically define the control. If you programmatically define the control, then first you need to enable this one, sap.ui.core.plugin declarative support. Once you say declarative support, you are going to programmatically enable or define the UI elements. Programmatically, you can define the UI elements. How do you define the UI elements? By using by using data. If you look at here, what are we trying to do? I created a div. Generally, how do we write? sap.m.button or sap.ui.comments.button. If you look at here, I am defining my own control like div. Inside the div, what I need to have? I need to have the button. So therefore, if you want to define that way, then data-sap-ui-type. What is the type? sap.ui.comments.button. And if you want to define the properties, how do you define? Div, then specify the button class, then specify the properties. Properties what? Text, all these things. You can very well run. Let me put this one and run it. We are defining the controls programmatically. So if you want to define the controls programmatically, then this is how you can proceed. Let me put it here in the body directly. Okay, div blah blah blah. I think it may not. Let's see what happened. Okay, this is the results coming from that. Okay, let me run some other program because I don't want to disturb that program. Let me open this one. This is a web.xml. Okay, so inside place and content, you are going to create so you are going to create the div. That's the problem. So when you create the div, sap.ui.this and all, text is equal to something. Now run this one. Let me deselect all these things. So let me take this one, and the reason is we should not put in the HTML directly. Inspect element, body, Let me go to the console and see. Okay, everything is fine. Okay. These kind of examples we have seen sometime back. Do you remember? These kind of examples we have seen sometime back. SAP UI div. Inside the div, we are trying to use the button and all. Let me recollect if something we have done. We already did these kind of things. SAP UI dot this and all. User inputs, no. Okay, I'll try to run one program on this. Okay, I'll try to run one program on this. Let's not spend too much of time on that. Otherwise, it's going to kill the time. So the basic purpose is programmatically, if you want to define the UI, first step you need to enable it. How do you enable? Data hyphen SAP hyphen UI hyphen modules is equal to this one. Where do you specify this one? You will specify this one here. You will specify this one here. Okay, so if you want to define the UI elements programmatically, first one you need to enable it. How do you enable? So this is the syntax. Now how do I define the control? If you want to define the control, let's say I want to put the control inside the div, then data hyphen SAP hyphen UI type, you can specify the type is button. And you want to define the properties. If you want to define the properties, data hyphen text. You can give the property whatever you want. You can give the property whatever you want. And if you want to define the associations, all these things, then you can give the button name, you can give the properties, then give the associations like label, message. And if you look at here, there is a link between the first div and second div. So here label for is what? Message. The same thing used as a ID for this one. It's like a combo bus kind of thing. So therefore there are associations defined here. So if you want to define the association, that is how you can define. And if you want to define the methods, how do you define the methods? SAP.UI. You can specify the button or you can specify the text field. Then, so in the text field, what is the method? On change or data value or data change. If there is any data change, I am calling the function called what? Okay, handle change. Then that go and call this function. Let's try out by simple example. Let me create a new project. Control N. Chenna underscore. Let me take the XML one. Chenna underscore. This is what? Declarative UI. Declarative UI. So that means programmatically we are declaring. So take this one, XML view, and say something one, finish. Say one, something finish. Okay, it's created. Now come to the view. Now here we have something. Now you can play that whatever you want. Okay, so this is div data hyphen SAP hyphen UI hyphen type is equal to SAP.UI.common start text field. Okay, data hyphen value is equal to click me or do something, do ABC, then data underscore change. If data underscore change, I am calling a function called the handle change. This function will define in the controller. This function you can define in the controller. Okay, this function we can define in the controller. That's fine. Now let me run this program. Okay, let me run this program. And this index.html. So first thing is that if you want to define the controls, you need to enable that. So let me go ahead and enable it. That's what I said. You need to enable this one. Data hyphen this one, that is enough. I can write in the integrated HTML. Okay. Then try to run. Still we are not getting the button. Let me see once. UI5 declarative support. UI5 declarative support. Okay, so if you let's see some help. So if you want to define, then that's fine. They says okay, you need to define this one. You need to include this and all in the bootstrap. That's what correct. That is what we did. We included in the bootstrap. Yeah, that's what. So let's run this program. Let's run this program. That's it. Okay. Now look at here. What are you trying to do here? So that's what I said. If you want to define UI programmatically, you need to use this one in the script file. We did correctly. Then in the body, we are trying to create this one. Yeah, somehow it was not displayed. We did correctly only. But now let's see and run. So it is not running correctly. Let me go ahead and run again. Yeah, we got the results. Look at here. It should get like that. Even we did correctly only. Maybe we did not check for the errors. That's it. Look at here. So now come back to the code. We got the output. Okay, come back to the code. What are we trying to do here? We are programmatically defining the controls. We are programmatically define the controls. Okay, inside the div, place this text box, then ID, then class is equal to something. That's fine. Okay, value. What is the initial value? Hello world. Then there is a button. See, look at here. Button is not displayed. So the reason is, okay. So okay. In our case also it is not displayed because of the reason it is saying please go and handle this one. If you are not handling this, then it is not displayed. That's the reason. So even this also will work. This is not given the result because of the reason is we did not write this function. So if you write the function in the controller, then it will work. If you write that function in the controller, then it will work. Function something, then you can write whatever you want. Then that also will work. Okay. So therefore, if you want to define the controls programmatically, you need to remember the steps. So this is how it is. First, you need to define the declarative support. Where do you define the declarative support? In the integrated HTML script tag. Once you define it, or once you declare the support, or once you enable the declarative support, then you are going to define the controls. So button control, all these things. If you want to apply the properties, you can apply the properties. If you want to apply the associations, you can apply. If you want to apply the events, you can apply the events. So if you look at here, handle press. You can go and write the handle press in the controller. We have seen that kind of examples many times. So that will be taken care. So that's how you can define the controls or events also. Now if you look at here, declarative support aggregations. Let's take the panel. Look at here. Inside the div, there is a panel. What is happening here? You are trying to display the controls on your own way. That's what the meaning of defining controls declaratively. Programmatically, you are defining it. So inside the div, I am putting a panel. Inside the panel, I am having button 1, button 2, button 3 and all. So this is called aggregation. Aggregation example we already seen. The best example for aggregation is drop down. The best example for aggregation is drop down. Now, so this is how you can do the aggregation. And you can also do the data binding. If you want to do the data binding, if you look at here, I have taken carousel. You know what is the meaning of carousel, right? What is the meaning of carousel? We already seen the example for carousel. Can anyone able to visualize what is the meaning of carousel? It's a UI element. We already use the carousel element. Anyone quickly? Guys, you there? Hello? Hello? Are you guys sleeping or what? Anyone able to visualize the carousel? Yes, sir, might be sleeping.
Scroll from left to right.
Absolutely, that is correct. Okay, so look at here. So if you want to do the data bindings we already seen many times, right? So look at here. If you want to do the data bindings programmatically, what you are doing, defining the control. So if you see here, there is a carousel control, there is a button control, and you can define the data context. For carousel, it is a data context. For button, it is data text. That's how you can define the data binding. And so that's all about the defining the controls programmatically. So therefore, on overall, if you look at here, if you want to declare, if you want the declarative support, that means if you want to programmatically allow, if you want to define the UI programmatically, step 1, you need to enable declarative support. How do you enable declarative support? This is the syntax. Now step 2, you can define the controls. How do you define the control? This is the syntax. Then if you want to apply the properties, you can apply the properties. What is the syntax? This is the syntax. Then if you want to apply the associations, yes, you can do. This is the syntax. If you want to apply the events, yes, you can do. If you want to do the aggregations, yes, you can do. And if you want to associate the bindings, data bindings, if you want to apply the data bindings, yes, you can do. So there for the carousel, you have data context, for button, you have data text. And so on, so. And so on, so. Now, if you have any questions on this, you can ask me. Declarative, till now, if you have any questions, you can ask me. Till now, if you have any questions, you can ask me. You there? Srikant, Danu, Sai joined today? Sunil, he said he will not able to join. Sai is there? Okay, that's fine. So any questions on this declarative programming? So you have to practice a lot. Declarative programming. So if you want to do the declarative UI, that means programmatically define the UI. Step 1, you need to enable it. Step 2, you need to define the controls. You can apply the properties, you can apply the methods, you can apply the UI aggregations, associations, data bindings, and so on, so. And so on, so. Next thing is, let's say you want to apply programmatically. If you look at here, I am creating a button. And for this button, I want to apply programmatically something. So that means what? This button will be, let's say I want to create a button on compile time. Okay, so if you want to do that, so to compile declarative UI markups, for example, this one, that's what. So if you want to define this control, or let's say I would like to define a button, which will be added dynamically. Dynamically means what? At runtime. Then what do you do? If you look at here, SAP UI-type, then you can define the button. Once you define the button, you can define the text. But immediately if you look at here, sap.ui.plugin declarative support compile. Compile what? document dot get element by ID. So then you are specifying the button. So button means this one. So therefore, this particular button is added to the program dynamically at runtime. So therefore, let's say you have a scenario like this. Let's say you have a scenario like this. You have a button or you have something like this. Assume the scenario like this. Sorry. Okay. So let's say this is a save button. Let's say this is save button. Once you click on the save button, we'll see some jQuery today. Once you click on the save button, you would like to have one more button. Let's say you tested successfully. So that means what? Once you click on the save button, then only it displays. That means what? You are creating this button dynamically at runtime. Please look at this one. If anyone is sleeping, please wake up. What I am trying to say is that you already have a button called save. Once you click on this one, then only you would like to show this button. That means what? You are creating the button dynamically. If you have that kind of scenario, then this piece of code will help. So you are creating a div. Inside the div, you are creating a button, but it will not display. When it display, sap.ui.core.plugins.declarative support compile. Okay, compile document.get element by ID of button. So therefore, when this is going to be displayed, whenever you click on this one. So therefore, if you have a requirement to display the buttons dynamically at runtime, then you can use this kind of syntax. So therefore, sap.ui.core.plugin.declarative support, there is a compile. Which one you would like to compile and display? You would like to compile and display this button. So therefore, this particular button will be displayed dynamically at runtime. Okay, that's about that one. Now come back. See, these are all rarely will be used, but I don't know when the scenario comes. So that's why we are discussing. Okay. So therefore, on overall, programmatically you can add the UI. Programmatically you can create the UI. If you want to create programmatically UI, first you need to enable it in the script file. Then you can define the control. Then you can define the properties. Then you can define the methods, events, associations, aggregations, data bindings, and finally you can also define how to display programmatically at runtime. That's about declarative UI. Okay, declarative UI. Okay, let me delete this. I don't need. Now come back. So now theming. What is the theming? We already seen this one. Take this any index.html. You are using some theme. Take this index.html. You are using the theme. What happens if I am not using the theme? Let's take an example. Let me take my example, that's styles. Let me run this program. We are getting some results. Okay. Why? What happened? Okay, it is running the program. Let it run. Okay, we got the results. Now look at here. Take this one and put it in here. Take this one and put it here. Now if you look at here, there is a theme applied. What is the theme applied? SAP Blue Crystal. What are the other themes available? What are the other themes available? Guys, you there? At least now you can answer. So we have n number of themes. What is n here? We already discussed. What are the themes? Yeah, Absolutely. So 3 types. First one is blue crystal, SAP reflection, SAP underscore MVI. And there is one more thing called what is that? HCB. Yeah. Keshav remembers well because he answered this one previously also. So SAP underscore MVI, that's for mobile purpose and all. So basically you can say 4, but 3 is also fine. Now if you look at here, this is a theme. And if you look at here, you are define this theme. You are define this theme here. That means you define the theme statically. That means theme is fixed. Theme is fixed. You can also apply the theme at runtime. How do you apply at runtime? You can add the theme in the URL. Let's say you can add the theme at URL. Let's take this example. You can add the theme at runtime. So what is the theme name? If you look at here. So the syntax is, you can apply like this. After HTML, you are going to specify blue crystal. So right now, let me go and remove the theme. I am removing the theme from here. Now save it. Now let me go ahead and refresh. So I don't have the theme right now. Now you can, so that means what? I removed the theme from here. I removed the theme from here means till now in the programming we fixed the theme. You are writing the theme information here. That means it is a fixed theme. If you don't want there, then you can also add programmatically in the parameters. What happened? SAP UI theme. Is that correct? Let me check the URL. What does that mean? Okay. Oh, double question mark is there? Okay, fine. So now see, programmatically theme is applied. Look at here, please. If you look at here, I did not apply the theme here. If you are applying the theme, then it is a fixed or static theme. If you are putting the theme here, that means it is a fixed theme or static theme. You can also add the theme dynamically. You can also add the theme dynamically. Now look at here. First time I am running. Then I said this theme. Then second time I am running. So this is the first time. Second time what I do? I can pass different parameter. SAP underscore gold reflection. Gold reflection. SAP underscore gold reflection. So I can apply this one. That means I am not fixed the theme. Okay, gold reflection. So it is different. You see the different theme is applied. So therefore, you can apply the themes dynamically also. This is one of the mechanisms to apply the themes dynamically. And what happens if I have the theme here and you are passing from the UI? Which will be activated? Tell me. See, there is a fixed theme here. And you are also passing the theme from here. Okay, you have seen in the CSS also. There is an inline CSS, internal CSS, external CSS. What is the hierarchy? We already seen. Now here, there is a fixed theme from the script. There is a static theme from the script. Now you are also applying dynamically something called gold reflection. So which will be applied when I run the program? Anyone? Which will be applied when I run the program? URL one. Okay, look at here. I am running the program. Okay, so therefore you are trying to override even though you have fixed one. Look at here. I am trying to run this program. Now you got the results. Now I am trying to run with the theme. Now you got different results. This is how you can override the existing themes dynamically. This is nothing but what? Overriding the existing theme. You already have the theme here. You already have the theme here. And you are passing the theme means what? So whatever theme is available, go and override it. So whatever you are specifying here, that will be applied. So therefore, you can pass the themes dynamically as a query parameter. This is called what? Query parameter or query string. This is called, if you are passing after question mark, if you are passing something after question mark, then it is called query parameter or query string. So therefore, you have a theme that is available statically or fixed, and you are trying to pass one more theme, then the theme whatever you are passing is going to override the fixed theme or static theme. Okay, so that's about this one. Now come back to the theory. Look at here. So that's what we are trying to say. What is the theme? Now tell me, what is the theme? If anyone asks after completion of everything, if anyone asks what is the theme, if you are not answering, then it is not good. Let's check how many people understand what is the theme. Let me go and ask Danu. You can type it, because if you are talking, then a lot of noise is coming. You can type. What is the theme? You also have themes in the ABAP, so on so, so on so. You also have in BI, BW some themes. What is a theme? Danu, are you typing? Or are you sleeping? Srikanth, what is a theme?
Theme is a collection of the way what we want to display.
What is that?
The way we want to display the content.
Okay. So what is a theme? A theme is nothing but collection of colors, collection of CSS or bundle of CSS. This basically theme specifies how the elements can look or how the elements can display all these things. So therefore, a theme is nothing but a collection of UI libraries or collection of CSS. You can say simply a theme is nothing but a collection of CSS. It specifies what the color of the background, what the color of the elements, these and all. So we have different kinds of themes. So therefore, theme is collection of CSS or collection of colors, collection of some fonts. It can also define the fonts. Collection of colors, collection of CSS, collection of fonts, collection of styles. That's nothing but the theme. Okay. Now, if you look at here, setting the theme. So that's what we have seen. There are three ways to set the theme. The first way is you can specify here statically. You can specify here statically. The second way is you can pass it in the runtime. That's nothing but whatever we have seen just now. You can pass it here at runtime. The third way is you can also use the API. If you look at here, sap.ui.getCode.apply theme. sap.ui.getCode.apply theme. You can also apply this method and apply it using programmatically. Look at here. Let's say I am not applying here, and I'll try to apply here using that method. Let me run this one first. Okay. Go to end and remove some of those things and hit enter. Now you don't have the style. Now I am trying to apply using API. I am trying to apply using API. Refresh it. See, you got the style. So therefore, if you want to set the theme, there are three ways. You need to remember like this only. There is no other option for you. If you want to set the theme, there are three ways. The first way is writing the theme in the script, boot bootstrap script. That is nothing but static, fixed theme. The second way is you can pass in the URL. You can pass in the URL. That's nothing but the dynamic. Today you can pass what? Blue crystal. After 1 hour you can pass what? Gold reflection. After 2 hours you can pass SAP_MVI. After some time you can pass HCB, and so on, so on, so. And so on, so on, so. That means it is a dynamic. Now, programmatically also you can apply the style. So if you want to apply programmatically style, what is the method? SAP.UI.getCode, apply theme. Then you can specify the theme. These are the 3 ways to set the theme. These are the 3 ways to set the theme. Now, okay, that's what it is written here. So setting up the theme. First way is specifying inside the script tag. Second way is specifying in the URL. That's nothing but the dynamic. Third way is using the method called apply theme. Using the method called apply theme. And if you look at here, please look at here. Look at this example. Now, what is the default theme? The default theme or fixed theme or static theme is nothing but a blue crystal. Nothing but blue crystal. Now, I am trying to run. What happens? Look at here. When I try to run the program with gold reflection. Now I am trying to run the program with gold reflection. That means what? What is the default theme? Blue crystal. But I am trying to run with a gold reflection. I am trying to run with a gold reflection. That means I am switching the theme. Please look at here. Actual theme is what? A gold reflection, a blue crystal. Now I am trying to apply what? So here whatever I am applying, I put here. This is what the URL I am hitting. I am trying to apply gold reflection. That means I am trying to switch the theme. Whenever you are trying to switch the theme and you want to handle something, then you can use this method. So therefore, if you want to switch the theme and you want to do something while switching the theme, then you can use this method. SAP.UI.getCode, attach change theme. Attach theme changed. That means whenever there is a theme change happens, this method can trigger. This method can fire. I am repeating again. If you look at here, in program you have blue crystal, or from the bootstrap script you have blue crystal, and you are trying to apply some other thing, gold reflection, while running the program, or in between. In between you are trying to apply gold reflection. That means you are trying to switch the theme. Whenever you try to switch the theme, this method will be triggered. Attach theme changed. This method will be triggered. So therefore, whenever you are switching the theme, let's say you want to notify the user, hey, you are trying to switch the theme. Then which method you are going to use? SAP.UI.getCode, attach theme changed. There you can display alert, hey, you are trying to change the theme, please be careful. That kind of warning messages you can display. So therefore, how do you listen theme switch event, or how do you listen, or how do you handle theme switch, or how do you know whether theme switch is happening? So you can use the method called SAP.UI.getCode, attach theme change. Okay, so that's how this one. And things are changed. You have to remember. I'll tell you the best example. Yesterday I was telling that I am going for the meeting and all, right? Because people are just calling for the interviews. Why this guy is paid this much? Why this guy is getting this much? So yesterday I was having a meeting with the managing director. He was asking, I came to know from your top management that, okay, you are the ABC guy. What is the reason? He took almost 1 hour 40 minutes. He was keep on scaring me left and right. In India also, things got changed. We have to spend the time. Otherwise, it is not easy to get the stuffs. Maybe developers who has less than 6 years, 7 years experience, they have the market. But once you are coming into the lead and manager position, it's very difficult in India also. I mean, even for Shashi case also we have seen. No one is ready to give the money. In Shashi case also we are trying to take him to my company. But when he asks 11 lakhs, 12 lakhs and all, they are just dropping the call. They are not even continuing. What is your current CTC? Okay. What is your current experience? 5 years. How much you want? 11 lakhs. Okay, bye. They are not ready to even conduct the interviews. Things got changed. We have to spend the time. If we are not spending the time, then that's correct. So things got changed. You can go to Wipro, you will know the pain. Even in all the companies, it is happening like that. If someone is taking XX amount, they are not giving on the fly. This has happened for me yesterday, and you know, it is a prestige issue again. Because if something is wrong if something wrong happens, right, it go all the level to your DH. You have nominated this guy for this ABC, but I don't see this. You have nominated this guy for XYZ, but I don't see this. Not only in this company, all the companies for top management, it is happening. From the manager level, from the lead level, you have tough time. That's what the best place to work after the lead level is US. You never worry what is happening. You just go and do the consulting and get the steps ready, and you will get paid out. But in India, after lead level, it's very difficult. Maybe there are some situations where the leads or managers are taking 10 to 11 lakhs. I think everyone knows this one. Managers, leads also taking 11 to 12 lakhs. Maybe they don't have any challenges. But if you are expecting more, obviously you have to do more. Company is ready to give for the guys who do more. At the same time, they are not just giving on the fly. We have seen for this example, Shashi's example. Okay, I have seen many times. Okay, you know, when I was promoting for architect, senior architect, they did the interview. After interview only, they said, okay, you are eligible for senior architect. Now, in between also, they are testing whether this guy is good enough to hold that position. I don't know what they will do if I am not doing good. So things have changed. See, previously, when people are promoting to senior architect or manager, there were no interviews at all. Now they are conducting the interviews. Now, even though they conducted the interview, they promoted you. Again, every 6 months once, every 1 year once, they are checking. So Shashi case, one more case I have seen yesterday, or not yesterday, last week. People are not ready to give the salaries. And that's what the reason last year CTS, TCS and all, they just queried something like this, right? Select star from employees where salary greater than 12 lakhs. Select star from employees where salary greater than 12 lakhs. This is 12 lakhs, 12 lakhs, add one more zero. So take the employees and lay off, that's it. Take the employees and lay off, that's it. Because of the reason is, why these kind of things are happening? Anyone? Why these kind of things are happening? Anyone? What is the market analysis? Why they are doing like this now? Any analysis at your end? Just for understanding purpose. Why they are not supporting the higher pays like previous? I am saying like previous. Previously, they were giving higher pays and they were giving value for the top management. Now there is no value for the top management. If delivery head says, I want to leave, they'll say, okay, bye. It's time for you to go, you can go.
Because of politics.
No, it's not politics. No. No, forget about the politics. I'm asking the market trend. If you see, in all the companies, these will be there. Politics will be there. No one can escape. Wherever you go, politics will be there. I'm not talking about the politics. My question is, why company was able to pay these kind of salaries few years back, and they were encouraging that time. Now why they are not? They are just saying, okay, if you have this much of salary, I don't need, or I can pay you that salaries, cost savings and competition advantage. Excellent. That is the reason. I will tell you the best example what I have seen in current company itself. What I have seen in the current company and the previous company also. When I was working in the IBM, I was working for the Dr. Reddy's Lab client. This is the best example I see. This is the best example I see. I was working in the Dr. Reddy's Lab client. That time, I clearly know that Dr. Reddy's Lab is paying to IBM 2,10,000 for one resource per month. 2,10,000. That numbers are correct. 2,10,000. So it was 7 years back. 7 years back, Dr. Reddy's Lab was paying to IBM. If you are supplying one resource, then I am going to pay 2,10,000. Let's say a manager is having 4 resources, then obviously from the manager perspective, let's say 5 resources. For simple calculation purpose, assume that this is also 0. If let's say I am the manager, I have 5 resources. Then obviously I will be getting per month what? That means I am able to show the earnings to IBM what? 10 lakhs. Okay, this I am able to show 7 years back. Let's say in 2011, or assume that in 2005, I am able to show 10 lakhs from my resources to IBM. Assume that I am the manager. Then obviously what IBM expects, in the 2006, they will expect 10% more than the savings whatever I shown last year. This is common for all the managers. See, if I say from my resources I can show 10 lakhs for you in the 2005, obviously in 2006 what they will say, oh, you did great in the 2005. Now your target is 10% extra. That means they will expect what? More than 10 lakhs. And when we are moving year to year, my resource cost is increased because I need to give the hikes. Let's say out of this 2 lakhs, let's say resource cost is 40,000 per candidate. Next year, that means when I come to 2016, I need to make minimum 45,000. At least I need to increase 5,000. That means I cannot show my 10 lakh again in the next year. Client anyway they are not increasing. Client day by day they are decreasing as Dhananjay specified because of competition. Now do you know Dr. Reddy's Lab is paying 1,60,000 per candidate. Dr. Reddy's Lab is paying 1,60,000 per candidate. They are happily saying, hey, if you are not able to provide, that's fine, I'll get from some other guy. Now, in what way a manager can show the profits? In what way a manager can show the difference from 1 year to another year? Every year, there is a pressure to the DH, then down to the senior managers. Last year, you are able to save this much. Now, this year, you need to save 10% extra. That's why most of the managers are having threat. Most of the top level management are having threat. It is not possible to show because day by day clients are reducing the price. And we need to manage the resources. We need to increase the hikes for the resources. And in what way he will get? He will not get it. The other example is 5 years back, if CTS is providing resource to Verizon, okay, I'm just giving an example, or let's say CSE. This is a personal thing which I have seen. They were charging 40 to 42 or 38 to $40. 5 years back, if CTS, let's say CTS is sending 5 resources to CSSE, then they were charging 38 to $40. Now they are charging only $24 to $25. Now they are charging only $24 to $25. So in what way they can survive now? Obviously, reduce the employee price, reduce the employee cost, reduce the employee salaries. Otherwise, they cannot save. 10 years in the CTS, if your manager is there with 10 resources, assume that he is able to show 10 lakhs. Now, showing that 10 lakhs is very difficult. Things got changed. Okay, fine. Let me come back. So, Dhananjay, whatever you told, that is correct, because you are working closely, right? Okay, so that's fine. Now come back here. So that's the goal here is that please start remembering. Otherwise, whatever subject you have, it is not going to help. And if you are not able to express also, it is not going to help. If anyone asks, okay, how many ways you can apply the themes, or how do you set the themes? That's it, done, done, done. I can apply programmatically, or I can apply in the script tag. That is the first way. I can apply from the URL. So that is the second way. I can apply through APIs. That is the third way. If anyone asks, okay, let's say I want to programmatically do the UI. How do you do? First, you are going to define the support. What is that? You are going to enable the declarative support. Then you are going to define the control. Then you are going to apply the properties. Then you are going to apply the associations, aggregations, these and all, data bindings, blah, 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 blah. If you prepare that way, then you are going to be extraordinary. There is no doubt in that. So you can try it out. Fine. Now come back. So that's about the themes we already seen. Now, let's say you have some themes. Now, if you look at here, whether blue crystal, whether it is a gold reflection, all these things are part of the SAP themes. Let's say you developed one theme in your .NET, in your SAP. I would like to use it. If you want to use the .NET themes, which are not part of SAP, which are external, how to use them? What is the syntax? Look at here. So if you want to load the external themes, or if you want to use the external themes, what is the syntax? If you look at here, sap.ui.getCore set root theme. Then you can specify the theme name. And you can specify what is the URL, where the theme is available. Let's say you developed in the .NET and it is available somewhere else, right? You can specify that location. I'm repeating this again. Let's say you developed one theme in .NET and your company requirement is what? Use that one. Your company requirement is what? Use that one. What happened? Something is not working in my keyboard. Okay. So your company is saying that, oh, I don't use SAP theme, I don't like it, I already have the custom theme, please use it. If that is the scenario, then no problem. So instead of you write the code, instead of you specify here all these things, you will say sap.ui.getCore set root, then specify the theme and specify where that theme is available. If theme is available, let's say http gmail.com, then in the folder called this and all, then you can specify that path. That's it. Okay. Next thing is that sometimes what happens, a theme can be available in more than one file. That possibility is also there. If that is the case, then you can specify it like this. If theme is available in, if you look at here you are specifying only one name. That means complete colors, fonts, sizes are available in the theme, so you are specifying only one name. Let's say a theme can be more than one file also. If theme is more than one file, then how do you use them? If theme is more than one file, Then specify the location of that files. Then sap.ui.getCode.setRoot. Then specify the theme name, the base theme name, and specify the files. List of the files. If theme is available or if theme is coming from more than one file, so then specify those files also. This is what the syntax of loading external CSS, external themes into your SAP. External themes into your SAP. So two methods. The first thing is that assume that the entire theme is a single file. Then you can go for this one. Assume that the entire theme is not a single file, it's a collection of files. Then you can go for this. And you can also statically define the theme. If you want to statically define the theme, then this is the syntax. So in the JavaScript, three ways again here also. In the JavaScript, you can say window SAP UI config. Then you can specify root themes. Then you can specify the theme name and specify the path. Then specify the file names, .these and all. That's all about the theme. Now, how to customize the theme? I don't know whether it is possible or not because I'm getting errors while creating customizing the theme. It should be allowed, but anyway, I'll try it out once and I'll show you guys. You can customize the themes. I'll try today. Yesterday I was getting some errors while customization. So we already have Blue Crystal, right? Let's take the example of Blue Crystal. This is how it looks. Let's say, how do I know I like this Blue Crystal very much, but I don't like this background color. That means what? Instead of I write my own style, I can customize this style, right? How do you customize the styles? I'll try to execute one example, but that is more than half an hour class or more than 1 hour class. We'll see that example also. Customizing the themes, because generally that requires in the companies also. Because if you look at here, every company will have their own colors. If you are creating a theme, it is going to take good amount of time, and you need to consider a lot. Instead of that, if they say, I like this theme very much, but I don't like this background color, just change the background color. In that case, you should not do so many things. Just take this theme, whatever they provided, and customize it. That means you just go and change the background color of the theme so that it will serve your company. Okay, we'll see that one also. Now, next thing is that jQuery. So, when you keep on asking, can you cover one class jQuery? Can you cover one class jQuery? Okay, so let's cover jQuery with some examples. Let's cover jQuery with one example. First example, I will type it so that you will get more idea. First example, I will type it, you will get more idea. Next example, I will just run. Okay, first example, I will let me type it. Okay, so these are all fine. This is a desktop application, that's fine. Let me remove some of the steps. I don't need all these things. Now come to here. In the script. So in the script, what are we trying to do? Let's say I want to load some data. Let me see whether the service is running. I want to load some data from http://ip.jsmojsontest.com/callback is equal to process JSON. No, this is not running. This particular service is having an IP address, nothing more than that. Actually, this is a web service available globally. So this is not running right now. If you look at the error, this application is temporarily over its service quota. Please try again later. So it's saying that the service whatever available, it's not running right now. it's running, but we are not able to hit and get the data. Basically, what it is having is, this is having the data like this. It is having a parameter called one second. Anyway, first example, I'll show the I'll execute it and show it so that you will get the idea. I don't want to get you without the answer. Okay, let's see some other example then. So what are we trying to do in this example? The goal of this example is, I would like to create a jQuery function. So how do you do? So if you want to write something jQuery, I already told you, you are using this one, SAPUI5 This also internally supports jQuery, yes or no? SAPUI or SAP-UI-core.js also supports jQuery. So therefore, you no need to import anything extra. Okay. So now I am trying to create a method. What is the method? What this method will do? Let's see. Oh, what happened? What this method will do is, so if you want to write something jQuery, then you are going to use dollar symbol, or you can also use jQuery dot, or you can use the dollar symbol. Two are fine. If you want to write anything in the jQuery, two ways are there. You can use a word called jQuery, or you can use simply dollar symbol. Okay, dollar symbol. I am writing a function. I'm just writing a function. So I am extending the function. What this function will do is, it's going to set some colorized. There is a property called colorized function. What this function will do, it is going to apply some color. This dot CSS background color hyphen color code. You can give something like, let's say, what is the color code? 47B 2A AA, or I don't know, 01. You can apply some color codes, that's not a problem. I apply the color code. Then end this one. I'm just creating a function. That's what the meaning of here. I'm trying to create a function here. So now I would like to display a button. So how do I display a button? If you want to display the button, you are going to use again dollar button, or when I click on the button, I would like to do something. First thing, let me go and display the button. How do I display the button? Look at here, please. If I want to display the button, I can say button hello test and end the button. So is this fine? Anyone? Is this fine? Can I write like this button? Can I create a button like this? I did not give anything. I just said button, then something and all. So yes, that will work. Look at here, button is created. Now when I click on this one, anything is happening? Nothing is happening. So therefore, I created a button. Now, once someone clicks on the button, I would like to do something. So therefore, once someone clicks on the button, that means I am writing a jQuery. Once someone clicks on button dot click, I am calling the function. What this function will do? What this function will do is that it says I will apply some colors. Dot target dot colorize. So I'm going to call that one colorize. So that color will fill this one. That's fine. Close this one, close this one, close this one. Okay. What are we trying to do here? Look at here, please. I created a button. Once I click on the button, that means $button click. Once I click on the button, what I am trying to do? I am calling the colorize function. So I am calling this function colorize. What this is doing is displaying some color. Let's see whether it is happening or not. Now run the program. Okay, look at here. So nothing is happening. Why? Let me check. Let me run here. Let me see if any issues are there. Inspect element. Go to the console. Click on testing. No, nothing is happening. And we don't see errors also. That means jQuery is not triggered. So to trigger the jQuery, so on click, you need to use something like this. $document.ready. That means one document.ready, I need to call this one. Function, then open, function this one, then this function, then open this. Then you are going to end those. End this. Now let's see. F5. I'm just refreshing. Now test it. Still it is not called. And you need to define the colorized background color. So document.ready function. Document.ready, and this is ended here. Yeah, that's correct only. So this is correct only. Then this is function is called and it is setting the background color. Single quotes or double quotes, both are fine. That's not a big deal. Okay. So just give me a sec. So yeah, let me run this program. I just typed night, so I can run that program. So let's see the first program. What is a jQuery? First thing I can explain here itself. What is a jQuery? jQuery is nothing but, yeah, that's fine. I'll explain now. So what is a jQuery? jQuery is what write less, do more. So that means what? Let's say before jQuery we have something called JavaScript. In JavaScript, let's say you are writing 10 lines of code. Then in jQuery you can achieve it in 5 lines or 2 lines. So therefore, jQuery is collection of libraries. If you see, JavaScript is what? Scripting language. And jQuery is not the scripting language, it's a library. Please see the difference. JavaScript is a scripting language, but jQuery is not a scripting language, it's a library. What is the advantage of using this library? You can less write and do more. That means coding will be very less. So therefore, if you want to write the coding less, all these things, then you are going to use the jQuery. So it's like a JavaScript only. On top of the JavaScript, you have a jQuery. It's a library. It's not a scripting language. Okay. So what does it mean? In the jQuery, collection of functions are there, which will do that task. So you are going to use that function. That's it. Let's see some of the examples. So the first thing is that I would like to, so what is the aim of this program? I would like to send a AJAX request and get the results and display the results. Now how do you do? Let me run this program. Obviously that service is not running, so you will not get the answer. That's fine. So right now it is empty. The empty because of the reason is just now I shown you, right? The service whatever I am meeting, that is not running. But try to understand, that's not a problem. What are we trying to do in this program? So in the JavaScript, we are using a URL. This URL is going to give some IP address, nothing more than that. This URL is going to give some IP address, nothing more than that. Right now that service is not available, that's why you are not getting the results. That's why you are not getting the result. That's fine. So what this particular URL will give, or what this particular URL do, it is going to give some IP address, 120 dot this and all. Fine. So I specified that URL here. Now I would like to send a AJAX request to this and get the IP address. I would like to send the AJAX request to this URL and get the results. Okay, I'm repeating this again. I have some URL which is going to give some IP address to me. So I would like to send the AJAX request to this. And get the IP and display that. So if I want to send the AJAX request and I would like to send the AJAX request using jQuery. If you want to send the AJAX request using jQuery, you are going to use $ symbol. I am explaining most commonly used requirements. I am not explaining the jQuery. Please remember this. I am not teaching the jQuery now. I am explaining commonly used requirements in the projects. The first requirement generally is you are going to send a request to some services and get the data. This is common requirement in most of the programs or most of the projects. You are going to send a request to a particular service and get the data. Now same thing is happening here. There is some service which is going to return the IP address. I would like to use that. So therefore, now I need to send a request to this. I want to send an AJAX request. If you want to send the AJAX request, you are going to use $.ajax. $.ajax. Then for what I need to send the request? For this URL. So therefore you can specify the URL. Then that URL is going to return something what? Process JSON. That's going to return the JSON. So you are going to specify that. And the data type. If you look at here, I am in the different domain and you are in the different domain, or this particular URL is different domain. To handle the class domain scripting, we are going to use what? JSONP. To handle the class domain scripting, you are going to use JSONP. We already seen this. Then once this is success, that means let's say this particular service is returning the JSON. Once it returns, on success, I am calling a function. What that function will do? This function display in the content area whatever IP address is coming. Generally, whenever this service is up and running, right, you can hit it, you will be getting some IP number. That's it, like 120.160. something. So therefore, if this is running, it is going to return what? IP address 120. something and all. That is what I am trying to display inside the content area. That's nothing but here. So what are we trying to do in this program? We are checking how, or we are testing how to send a Ajax request using jQuery. How to send a Ajax request using jQuery. If you want to send a Ajax request to jQuery, you are going to use $.ajax. This is the most commonly asked question. How do you send the Ajax request using jQuery? $.ajax. Then what are the parameters? You are going to specify the URL. You are going to specify the callback information. You are going to specify the data type. You are going to specify on success what to do, on error what to do. On error what to do? You are displaying something in the console.log. Look at here. On error what to do? You are displaying something in the console.log. Go to the console.log. So it is displaying something like IP address is not found something. Okay. So therefore, this particular example explains how to send a Ajax request using jQuery to cross domain. So therefore, $.ajax, you are going to specify URL. If it is a cross domain, you are going to specify JSON P, and on success what to do, on error what to do, you are going to specify. That's it. On success what to do, on failure what to do, you are going to specify. That's it. Next, second example. Assume that JSON is available here itself. One of the requirement is what? How to get the JSON data from the service. That is nothing but the previous example. Now assume that JSON is available here itself. Now how to display the JSON data using jQuery? We already seen without jQuery. Now I would like to display using jQuery. Now let me run this program. This is another requirement. That's what I am saying. I am trying to explain common requirements which are used in the projects. I am trying to explain common requirements which are used in the projects. The first example says how to send a Ajax request to the service and get the data. $.ajax. The second requirement is assume that you have the local JSON and you would like to read the local JSON data using jQuery and display it. Now look at here. First let's go to the body. In the body what you have? You have a button on load. So therefore button on load. Then you are displaying person's info. Then name, age, phone number. Right now it is empty. Right now it is empty. Now for button, so you have a button, right? Once you click on the button, I would like to load name, age, phone number from the JSON. I would like to load name, okay, age and a phone number from phone number from the JSON and display it. That means like this. Look at here. Name, age, phone number dynamically populated. I'm running the program again. Right now this is empty. Now whenever I click on the button, I will go and get the name, age, phone numbers from the JSON and attach to these labels dynamically. So how do we do that? That's the requirement. Now you can display the button, blah blah blah, then just display the name, age, phone number. Now after name, by default what? Empty. Look at here, by default empty. So after this you are going to apply append some values. That means actual name. So then there should be some span available for to display that. That's why we are creating a span, and ID is equal to what? Name. So for age also create empty span, age. Then for phone numbers also create some empty span and leave it. These empty spans or these spans will be filled dynamically runtime when you click on the button. There are empty spans. Those spans are filled with data dynamically at runtime when you click on the button. When you click on the button. Okay. So now let's see. What are we trying to do here? So once I click on the button, come to here. So look at here. If you want to specify some actions, on click and all, when this on click will fire, when it is in document.ready. Once document.ready, then only your events will be triggered. So therefore, $document.ready, then you can write a function. Inside the function, what are you trying to do? You can do so many, but I would like to check whether button is clicked. I would like to check whether the button is clicked. If button is clicked, now what I need to do? I need to fill these spans, empty spans, name, age, phone number. So therefore, $$ hash name dot HTML. I need to fill this HTML what? With the first name and last name. First name, last name from where? From the person JSON. Person JSON, first name, last name. That's what it is happening here. Now, age, hash age. I would like to fill the age. Age from where? From the JSON. From the JSON. That's it. Now I would like to fill the phone numbers. If you look at here, there are multiple phone numbers. This is one phone number. This is another phone number. So therefore, if you want to fill that phone number, it's an array here. If you look at here, it's an array. This is one phone number. This is an array. Look at here. Phone number. This is a phone number. This is one number. This is another number. That means array of values are there. So if array of values are there, you need to take each phone number. So that's why I am saying $.each. $.each. $.each from where? From phone numbers. Or $.each of phone numbers from where? From persons. And take each phone number and append to the span. Phone numbers, append. What I need to append? I need to append to this one. This span. So what I need to take? I need to take the phone number. Phone number name is what? If you look at here, this is the number. So therefore, take the number or take the each number from the phone number. Take the each number from the phone number. Take the each number from the phone number and append to this empty span. Append to that empty span. That's what we are trying to do here. So that's why when you click on this one, so name is coming, age is coming, phone numbers are coming. So that's how you can read the data dynamically, or that's how you can read the data from the JSON. So what is the first requirement? First requirement is how to send the JSON AJAX request using jQuery. The second request is, or the second program is, how do you display JSON data using jQuery? That's it. Now let's see third requirement. Let's see third requirement. So I am creating the function, my own function. How do you create the function? Look at this one. What are we trying to do here? So let me run this program, you will understand. If you look at here, this is another, see, first requirement is sending the AJAX request. Second request is loading, reading the local JSON data. The third aim is you would like to create your own function. Look at here. If I click on this one, I got some text. This text is repeated. So how do we create our own functions? Create a new jQuery function. What are we trying to do here? I have a button. What is the button name? Create something. Once someone clicks on the button, this label, whatever I have, right? This is a label. Look at here. Create something, some text. Okay. So that is displayed as a button label. If anyone clicks on this, I would like to display some text. Look at here. Some text. If they click on one more time, I need to append this. If I click here, wait. If they click on one more time, I need to append the existing results. I need to append to existing results. So I need to create my own function. So therefore, once I click on the button, I would like to do something. What I need to do? So I need to click on document.ready function. So you can recognize the click function inside the document.ready only, or once the document.ready is ready, then only you can handle the click event. Once document.ready is ready, then only you can handle the click event. That's why all the times you specify document.ready, $document.ready function. Then you can do whatever you want here, but I would like to capture the click event of the button. So therefore, $button click event. Once they click on this, I need to write my own method called create text. I need to call my own method, my own function called create text. How do you call? $.create text. Now this will be called. What are we trying to do here? I am trying to display some content. If you look at here, I am trying to display some content in the container. But every time, whenever I click, I am trying to do append. Look at here. So initially the container is not having anything. When you click first time, this will be called container.append. I am appending some Channa text. Right now Channa text is there in the container. When you click next time, when you click the second time, then again this method will be called, and you are appending something to existing one. That's why you see repeated one. That's about this one. So therefore, this example says what? How to create your own functions. How to create your own functions, your own methods. How to create your own functions, your own methods. That is about this example. So the first one is JSON, AJAX request. Second one is this one. Second one is local JSON. Third one is how to read the data or how to create your own functions. Now let's look at the next one. I would like to instantiate the methods. Let me run this program. Look at here. What is happening right now? There is a button. Once I click on the button, the color got changed. Look at here. I have a button. Once I click on this, the color got changed. That means, what are we trying to do in this program? So we are trying to instantiate the methods. How do we do? Look at here. I created a button. Then there is a div called target. I think 2 divs are not required. Yeah, that is fine. So div target. Now look at here, I have a button. Once I click on the button, that means where can I write the click button or where can I write the click event? Document.ready. Once I click on this, for this target, I am applying the color. For this target, I am applying the color. So therefore, this will be called. What I am trying to do here, background color I am changing. Background color I am changing. So I am trying to change the background color. So that's the reason. So when I run this, initially this is not having any color. If you look at here, this is not having, this div is having this color whatever we have given. Once I click on the button, I am calling the method colorized. This colorized is changing the background color. So when I hit on this, it is changing the background color with whatever I have given. So look at here, I have given this color code, that is what it is applied. That is what it is applied. Okay, so that's how you can call the methods and so on, so on, so. Now next one is, in the previous example you have let's see what is the case. Okay. In the previous example, you have used $.extended, and now that's what I'm trying to say. If you look at here, I am creating a new jQuery new function. I'm just extending the jQuery function. Yeah, let me put it in this way. I'm just extending the jQuery function. Here, I'm creating a new function. Here, I'm creating a new function. It's nothing but extending the function. So already, see, whenever you click something, click is happening. That means there are methods. You are just trying to extend those. Now here you are creating a new instance, new jQuery function. Okay. So now let me go ahead and see the next one. The next one is, okay, let me run this program, you will get the idea. Okay, now look at here, I have a button. Once I click on the button, look at here, I am displaying some text. I am displaying the text here. So how are we doing? Look at here. So nothing, I just displayed the button, blah blah blah, and it is having some color, that's fine. Now click on the button. So document.ready, then click event. Once I click on this, I am trying to read the data whatever available here. What is available in the data 1? 500. Data 2, 52. That data 1, data 2. Okay. So create, if you look at here, div is nothing but right now empty. .html value. I am saying the value whatever you entered here, 500. And data 2. Data 2 is what? 52. So therefore, that's why you see value undefined. Right now you are getting value undefined. Now let's see. See, value 500, value 52. Value 500, value 52. You are getting correctly now. I don't know whether you are able to see it or not. Let me change some colors. Background color instead of this, let me put it as gray. Oh, it is not applied. Gray is not applied. Oh, if you want to apply gray, then you should not use hash. GRAY, gray. Yeah, gray is applied. Look at here. Now I hit enter. Value is 500, value is 52. Previously it was coming undefined because of the reason is these methods I written outside document.ready. When you write outside document.ready, those are not prepared well. So that's why whenever you want to do something, put that inside the document.ready. So therefore, what are we trying to do here? I just created a div, or I have a button and div with some color. Div with some color. That's fine. Now it will come to once you click on the button. Once you click on the button, what are you trying to do? You are trying to display something inside this div. So therefore, that something is nothing but div.html value data1. What is available in the data1? 500. Data2. What is available in the data2? 520. So therefore, 500 and 520 are displayed. 500 and 520 are displayed. And if you want to make bigger one, you can make it. You can change the width, height and all. So width is, let's say, 80 and the height is also 80. Width also 80, height is 80. Now you are good. Now you are good. Okay. So that's how you can do some of the things. Now next thing is that how to move the object. This is a somewhat graphic side. So let's see this. What I'm trying to say here is that now this is an object. Now you can move it. Look at here. If you want to do this one using JavaScript, you need to write a minimum 50 lines of code. In jQuery, 2 lines. I'm able to move the object. So what is the logic here? It's simple, straightforward. First thing is that I'm creating a div, or if you look at here, first thing, I have a div. That div is having content. Style is equal to what? Height 400 pixels. If I reduce this one, reduced 300 pixels. Now this is going to be reduced. Maybe it reduce here. So height and width I am reducing. Now look at here. So that's nothing but this one. Look at here. Div. I applied the style. Height is equal to width is equal to background is equal to something. That's it. Once I apply the style, look at here. On init, that means in the initialization. On the init, that means in the initialization, I am saying whatever you styles you applied, right, those are draggable. This is like a style class. This is like a style ID. Look at here. This is a div ID or style ID. Or let me put it as div ID. For div ID, you applied some styles. Now I am saying on initialization, this div ID is draggable. If you say draggable, then you have an option to drag it. So that's a simple. So therefore, you created a div with some ID and you applied some colors and you said draggable. Now you got it. That's it. Now you got it. That's it. Now let me explain the same program which is similar, but while dragging you change the colors. Right now, if I drag this one, colors are not changing. So you will try to change the color also. Let me run this program. Look at here, color is changed, right? While dragging, my color is changed. Are you able to notice? While dragging, my color is changed. Nothing. The logic is simple, straightforward, and it's easy. I created a div. and I applied some color. That's nothing but red color. Okay. On initialization, I said draggable. On initialization, I said the div is draggable. And also you applied one more style, id dot UI draggable, and it is dragging. It is another class. You are saying blue color. That means what? When this id draggable and you are dragging it, then change the color. That's what the meaning. So this is the ID which is having red color by default. Now, so you specified on initialization, that is draggable, and you are dragging. If you are dragging, then apply the green color. That's what the meaning is. Okay, that's about that program. Next program is also just extension to that. Next program is also just extension to that. The extension is nothing but I will have one more box or one more div and I can place there, and also create some alerts. Look at here. So dragging is allowed and I can place in this box. So it is saying that the sequence ID make draggable and drop into me. So it is saying that I have something, some box, you can drop into here. And remember that, just notice, this is a box, right? Wherever I drop, I will not get the alerts. But if I try to drop in the box, then only I get the alerts. That means what? I have something, I have given to you. Now you are saying, hey, you are given to me. So that means you are able to notify whether object is reached to you or not. Look at here. You are getting the alert means what? You are able to notify what? So you are able to notify the object is reached to this particular area. That is how you need to understand. Look at here. Wherever I drop this one, I will not get the alert. Whenever I drop in this area, then I will get the alert. What happened? Yeah, I get the alert. That means you are able to notify when the object is coming to you. That means you are able to identify when the object is reaching you. So let's see the code. So the code is nothing, div id, and you need to have one more this one here, right? So therefore create two divs, draggable and droppable. Droppable means this one. Draggable, you apply some color. Droppable, it's just like a solid. Okay. So on the initialization, you are saying this is draggable. This is draggable. And whenever someone reaches to this one, then you are calling one more thing called a droppable. And on dropping, you are showing the alert. So that's why you are saying a function drop handle drop event. So that means whenever you drop something on that, you are calling this function. In this function, what you are doing? You are just displaying an alert. You are just displaying an alert. That's how jQuery works. So like that you can practice how many you want, but majorly 2-3 first few examples are important. How to send the AJAX request, how to read the local data, how to call a method, how to create a method. All those things are important. And let me tell you one more thing. Let me run this program. Let me run this program. Now if you look at here, button. For button, on click you have written, right? So let's see how many ways you can write the jQuery. This is a button. Button, on click you have written. So if you have ID, let's say button ID is equal to 1. Then through through ID also you can write #1. So what is the meaning of #1? #1 is nothing but 1 is what? ID of the button. So therefore when button is clicked, that is what the meaning. So let's go ahead and refresh. Okay, it's not fired. I need to put in the codes. Now let's see. Now it is fired. So therefore you can use the ID. You can also use the class. Let's say class, let's say 2. Dot 2. Class means dot. Okay. Change the color is changed. So finally, in how many ways you can access a HTML object and use it in the jQuery? That is the question. Okay. So finally, question is how many ways? Please look at here. In how many ways you can access HTML elements and use it in jQuery? In how many ways you can access the HTML elements and use it in jQuery? How many ways? How many ways? 3 ways. The first is directly you can specify button. Directly you can specify the button. We already see. The second is you can use the ID. The third is you can use the class. So if you use the button.click, it works. If you use ID.click, it works. If you use class.click, it works. Any questions? Any questions now? If no questions, we can stop here and we can continue tomorrow. If no questions, we can stop here and continue tomorrow. Tell me, Sikhan. Can you speak a bit loud?
If we have say, multiple buttons in same class.
Can you speak loud? I am not able to hear you.
1 second. I'll type.
Are you typing? Okay. So if we have multiple buttons, let's see the question. If we have multiple buttons in same class, how it works? Okay, if we have multiple buttons in the same class, let's try it out. His question is valid. Let's create a button class is equal to no. Yeah, let's try it out once. Button 1 class, let's say 1, this is displayed, then button class, again it is 1. That's what we need to check. Did you check, or you are just saying on the fly? Did you check, or you are just saying on the fly? So now So this class is also 1. Now we have 2 buttons. Now we have 2 buttons with the class name 1. Now if I specify 1, this is a class, so dot. Now let me run this. This is what your question, right? So therefore, wherever class we have, that will be working. Let's see. Yeah. Look at here. Okay, 1. When you click on this, it will work. When you click on this, it will work. Yeah, it is expected behavior only. 2, it is working. So you got the solution, right, Srikanth? So what are we trying to do here? We created 2 buttons with the same class, 1. So therefore, whether you click on this button or this button, this function will be called. This is expected behavior only. That's why we have the class, right? Class is common for more than one. If you have same requirement for more than one element, then you are going to use the class. Now what did you do here? You created 2 buttons and you made both buttons class is 1. So therefore, you click on 1. 1 means you may click on this one or this one, whatever it may be. So it will go and pick that one. You won't pick that one. Anything else, Srikanth?
That's it.
So you got the answer, right?
Yeah. So if we want different behavior, then we have to use IDs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So that's all for today. So if you have any classes, more than one class, same classes for multiple elements, the click event is applied for all the elements. That's it. If you have 10 buttons with the same class, then click event is applied for all the buttons. That's it. So I'll send these programs and all maybe tomorrow once I complete this. So tomorrow I may take 3 hours or whatever maybe I would like to complete tomorrow.